Yeah, I mean that yeah. Talking about some ups and
Listen,
downs. Yeah.
I just got Spectrum back yesterday. It was in time for the Monday Night Football game. I was so excited. I was giddy. I was like, we're going to have a
You
game
was
on Monday night.
excited. I wasn't excited.
I was. I've been without. I've been without ESPN for a week. I was excited to have my ESPN.
You gotta start understanding how to maneuver. Well, wait a minute. You don't that's right, you don't have ESPN Plus.
No, I don't. And
Oh,
my Fire Stick is somewhere in one of these boxes that
oh.
haven't been
So
unpacked. I
like we
haven't had
got
a
the
copy.
family, because we like the Disney. So we already had like did the Disney Hulu ESPN Plus package. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, the Monday night game was on ESPN Plus. So the only thing I was missing or been missing with this foolishness was like the talk shows. But as far as the game, I was able to get the game. But then, my wife came in and was like, "Oh, they settled the thing." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I'll just click on and watch the pregame and start,
Well, I was gonna
hyping
be
about
able to
all of
get
the
the
things
game.
going on." Yeah,
I was gonna be able to get the game because they always do the first game on ABC and
that's true.
ESPN.
That's a good point.
And even
That's
though Disney owns ABC, I never lost ABC. So
Hmm.
some areas here, some people were like, "No, I didn't have ABC either," but I never
Yeah, a
lost
lot of people.
ABC.
Yeah, but that's weird because usually the local stations don't get it. Like, dang, they lost ABC too.
Yeah, like they were like,
Gangster.
"I didn't have it,"
That's
because it was
gangster.
like the first day it was like the ESPN channels. The next day it was like
Oh boy.
FX movie, Freeform, all of that, which I didn't know any of that was Disney. Um, and then like the third day, people were like, "I don't
You,
have
so
ABC
you saw
either," and
that
I was
blank
like, "You don't have
screen.
ABC?"
So you saw that blank screen. I click. What? Click.
Yeah, I was like,
Click.
"Dang!" I was like, Disney doing the most," but
Right.
I never lost ABC, so I was gonna be able to watch the game. I was excited to get my pregame shows back so I could see what was
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I was look, I don't even know that I was really paying that much attention because the game had just started. Like I'd watched the fanfare, the running out with carrying the flag, and I swear they had blown the whistle. And the next thing I know, I was like, are they carting that man off the field?" Like I just was so
I mean,
like, what just happened?
you don't. First of all, the teams that were playing. The only reason I was interested, of course, being a Dolphins fan, I'm just interested in the AFC East and
Right.
who gonna win. But as far as the actual game, like literally watching it, I was actually on the phone with Prev when the game was on. It was just sitting there talking, and we was catching up and everything, talking about stuff and whatever. And then we weren't paying attention, and then Prev started giggling. And I was like, "What's up?" And I looked up at the TV. I wasn't even looking at the TV. I think I was doing something on the computer. I think I actually was chatting with y'all, trying to get that
Okay.
invitation.
And that might have been what I was doing
I think I was chatting
because
with
when
y'all,
it
trying to get that
happened,
invitation to the show
I
again.
didn't actually see the play until after the fact, and I was like, "Why are they?" I was like, "What happened?" And of course, then they're gonna replay it like 12 times,
Right, right, right.
and everybody was like, "It's his ankle." But when they slowed it down, I could see the little ripple in the calf, and I was like,
Now
"No,
I'm not
that's
gonna
what
sit
it
here and
is."
pretend I was able to see the ripple. Like
Somebody else said that. No, someone else
I
told
know
me that
somebody. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so they could
I
see that.
thought,
I
oh,
didn't
but
see it.
because they zoomed in on it. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I saw it. Like when they were slowing it down and playing it in slow motion, they were like, "It's right here in this area. You can see where his foot got stuck." And I was like, "That looks like a ripple, friends. Don't know that that's a broken ankle because
It
bones
didn't
don't
look like.
usually wave."
Well, but I think the key is that for every Achilles injury that we've seen over the years, right?
Mhm.
Dolphins fan Dan Marino,
Right.
making the pass, clutch twice, then throw, and then he limps off the field, and then Testaverde. They had to carry him off the field. When
Yeah.
Right.
happened to Aaron Rodgers, maybe he's got a high threshold for pain, or maybe
Yeah.
how it
Yeah.
popped, it wasn't. I mean, Dion, you closer to this. I don't mean to call you out, but you've had injuries and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Oh
maybe
yeah.
it's a high threshold for pain because he literally was just like, and people was like, yeah, he paused and he sat down. I said, well, he sat down because he wanted to stop the play. I was
Right.
like,
Right.
but I was like, he literally stood there for a second, like, okay, I'm not gonna walk this off, but let me sit down and stop the play, and then y'all come get me, and then I'll walk it off. Kind of like that. And I was like, maybe it is an ankle. He's like, oh no, he got a boot on. Oh no, they got they got a boot. I'm like, nah, that don't look like an ankle to me. That look a little bit worse.
Yeah, like because that was the first thing. Everybody was like, "Oh, he broke his ankle," and I was just like, "I just don't feel like that's a broken ankle."
I thought it might have been a high ankle sprain. That's what I was thinking.
But I'm not a doctor, so I was like, I feel like that was a ripple, but I was like, it can't be a ripple because also in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna need to go work this waiver wire because I got this man as my QB. I need to go figure out who's. So immediately, while they trying to figure out if it's an ankle, Achilles, season injury, for the next 30, 40 minutes, I'm on my phone. I'm looking at the waiver wire, see what QB is out there. I was like, son of a.
Yeah.
Like you've been around players, man. You know, like, have you been around anybody that's had an Achilles?
I have not.
Okay.
Okay. But I've heard about what I heard is very painful, and you need a year.
Yeah.
Some people may not come back from it, but
they were talking to this morning. Oh my gosh, your man. He played for the Jets. I can't think of his name, but anyway, they were talking to him, Damon Woody.
Yeah.
Oh, they were talking to Damon Woody. And Damon Woody actually said he was like, when he tore his Achilles, that's what ended his career.
Oh wow, yes, yeah.
Because he was like, he said you can't do anything. He's like, for like the first 3 months you're immobile. And then when you start the rehab, he was like, it's so painful and it's so grinding. He said it takes you a year. He said, and I was just like, I'm gonna have to do all of that and then get into football shape. And he was just like, he had enough. He was like, when he tore his Achilles, that's when he made the decision that he wasn't gonna come back, that he was gonna retire from football. Because he had another injury that he had come back from. He
had a knee injury, and he had came back earlier, like the beginning of the season. Then he came back.
Yeah, and then he tore his Achilles, and he was just like the rehab and trying to recover to get back to being able to play was just more than he was willing to invest. And so he even said, he was like, I won't be surprised if that was Aaron Rodgers' last game. He was like, because keep in mind, that man is going to be 40.
What's up, Rod, man? How you doing?
What's up, Rod?
Hanging in. How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you sound good. You sound good. And everything. We're just kind of reacting to of course, the big news in football with
Aaron Rodgers,
A-Rod, Phillies, and everything. What was your take when you heard, saw, whatever? That look on your face?
Because here's the thing. I had not planned on being able to watch the game. And as usual, the Hood CNN, aka Lonice, says, "Oh, Spectrum is back." So I was like, "Okay, bet." So I get off of work, get in the house, get in good, and like, okay, let me turn on the game, see what they're talking about. And I'm like, "Oh, A-Rod is out." I don't know who I feel bad for, who I feel worse for, A-Rod or the Jets. Because how much money did they invest in getting him there? And now that's just gone by the wayside. And I heard bits and pieces of y'all's conversation. And, you was like, Damien Woody said, okay, when he tore his, that's when he knew he was done. I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, this could be it.
It could be it. I'm not gonna go there just yet. I mean, I've never had to rehab anything that serious. I've had a couple of rehabs, but I've never had to rehab anything that serious. The only thing I would say is that people, these professional athletes are human. So, they do go through the emotions. You can speak to that being a pro and going through some stuff. It's still emotions and stuff. But I also know that for what we think we know about Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's going to go out like that. I think he's going to make at least one more attempt. I think the only thing that will probably push him towards, hey, you know what, let me maybe retire, is if something goes wrong with the rehab.
And that's what I was thinking.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's like okay, we're sitting here saying,
and then there's something.
Right.
If he gets to rehab and he goes through, because again, even though you need your footwork to throw, we're not talking about an injury to the arm. So I'm thinking he might try to make that one more rodeo ride in and try to fulfill this thing. It's going to be interesting because we need to see what the Jets are going to actually do. I'm not completely sold on how good they are defensively, only because that damn Josh Allen, boy. Look, we got to start really being real about this cat. I love Josh Allen, but he's a turnover machine, man. Good Lord.
Let me say this. Defense.
Hey, that guy wears another jersey. He's the same guy that you thrown the ball to twice. How you throw 3 interceptions to the same
And he got that man. Let us be clear. That man earned his bonus last night.
In one game.
In one game, he $250,000.
Like
he triggered a bonus. In week 1,
don't wear 14 in blue. Don't wear 13 in blue. He got on green and white.
and he's number 3.
Right.
Not 13, he's number 3. But in the Jets defense, they're in their defense of their defense, rather.
No, they're good. They're really good
last year. It's not like they did something amazing like last night with the 3 turnovers.
Right.
But they were good last year, so that was one of the reasons that they were working so hard to get them a QB, because they have a championship caliber defense for the most part on deck already. They just need a Bama that's not going to turn the ball over all the time like Wilson was doing, which, by the way, they have sworn today that they are riding out with this dude and he's their guy.
Well, they don't have I don't think they have a choice though, Lonice. I mean, you can't just go bring another person in. I mean, you can.
You can.
Should
you?
I mean, and here's the thing. Who you going to bring in that ain't going to hit the pocket again? I think, to your point, Rod, I think it's like $75 million guaranteed. I think it was.
Well, they were talking about
Stafford in at $40 million. Like, you ain't gonna just keep dropping money at the QB position.
But if you're a GM, then you know that's the first thing I'm thinking. I got to. We lost one for the year, so I got to find somebody else.
You got to bring somebody in. I'm just saying somebody that's gonna literally like challenge for the starting role.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to have anybody that can challenge for the starting role. Because, of course, people start saying, call Tom Brady.
No.
But,
no.
I just
call anybody. Call Ryan Fitzpatrick. Get that Fitz magic out there. But,
no. But you could call Matt Ryan. He in the booth. And he done said that he hasn't retired yet. So you could call Matt Ryan.
Matt trying to see old boy on site.
What you say, Rod?
Matt trying to see old boy on site for that comment that he made in the booth.
Man, listen.
That in a second. We'll get to that in a second.
Because right now the Jets season is teetering right now. They got a decent defense. I think Buffalo started very slow, or the Jets defense they really honed in on them, and they still made some plays, but they didn't wow you like Buffalo did last year. And I know it was week 1, but I think that if their defense, the Jets play like that, I mean, the AFC East, we got problems. we got some big problems because the Patriots, they pushed the Eagles. So, and I know that's what it is, but
I mean, I'm not poo-pooing your point. I'm just kind of thinking the first part of your statement is week 1. Like, I'm not going to hang anything on anybody one way or the other. The only thing about week 1 that I'm like, yeah, that is, I think, what we're going to see every week with San Francisco. That's the only thing I'm looking at as far as like, ain't no questions about what we saw what San Francisco did.
Like the boys
as much as I love Miami, I'm just like, hey, okay, let's see what happens when we go against a better defense, the Jets and everything.
Yeah.
But San Francisco did. I'm sitting there like, who are these Bama's picking Pittsburgh for an upset? Like, what are y'all smoking? Like, oh my God, Pittsburgh's going to be.
Because here's the thing. People picked Pittsburgh for the upset because even though Brock Purdy was wonderful at the end of last season, he wasn't. To be clear, he wasn't. People have film on him now. And he's still just a young quarterback. So people were banking on the fact that the Steelers defense could get to him and shake him. Because even in the playoff game last year when they beat Dallas, there were some plays that had Dallas's defense been anywhere on point, they could have gotten that game from San Francisco because he was throwing them out there. Give me.
Yeah.
He was absolutely getting shook by the pass rush. So if the Steelers defense to me was uncharacteristically bad on week 1, they were uncharacteristically bad. So, but had that pass rush actually gotten to him, if you, like I said, with that playoff game last year against Dallas, there were several throws that he made where I was like, oh, they about to get this game to Dallas. Because that is, that's not an interception. Y'all didn't want that one? Because I felt like I could have capped that one.
But here's
like,
my
there were
counter.
bad throws that he made.
No, I don't disagree with that. I mean, that was his first playoff game, too. I mean, I get all that. But here's the counter I would make when you say they got film. Brock Purdy also had a full offseason in Shanahan's offense. So my point is...
Because he had to come out for that surgery.
But my point is, the playbook is sitting in his hand while he's on surgery, and he was the number one. So, like, there was never any doubt that he was the one, like, number one. Like, if there was, like, some doubt, like, if Trey Lance, they literally traded Trey Lance for a bag of chips because Shanahan said, this is my guy. And so I ain't gonna roll with Shanahan if he's saying that this is his guy after you spent all what was Trey Lance, a fourth overall or something?
Decent pick, yeah.
Fourth overall in the first
round.
And they gave away like 2 or 3 first rounders to move up
for a bag of chips. Obviously, he saw something in Purdy, and I'm not saying you're wrong. We still got to see some more. I just didn't feel like it was something where you can look up and go, well, we're going to just take the Steelers and they're going to just beat San Francisco. San Francisco still got a defense. Probably the best defense, even better than the So, and I'm like, Kenny Pickett ain't showed me nothing that makes him
the wrong QB can hinder your defense. So,
yeah, but I'm saying, but what did Kenny Pickett show that made me think that Kenny Pickett could beat San Francisco? That was the other part. The other part of the equation is what I'm getting to. Kenny Pickett ain't.
Again, I feel like people were making that gamble based off of the Steelers' defense more so than their offense. Although people are very high on Kenny Pickett, and again, I was just like, not that I think he's a bad QB, but San Francisco can make a lot of QBs look bad. So their defense can make a lot of QBs look bad. So there's that. All I know is I'm glad I started Dallas' defense this week in our league because
that was atrocious.
You would have got your butt waxed. She got a 50 burger from the defense. I mean,
that was atrocious, man. That was bad.
Listen, and that was the only reason because when we went into that game on Sunday night, I was like,
Danny Dimes, baby. Danny Dimes.
I was like,
$40 million a year. Danny Dimes.
I mean, for a Sunday night game, divisional game, that was bad. That was bad.
It was not bad.
And here's the funny part. That offense wasn't that great at all. Like,
no.
There was a lot of drop passes. There was a lot of miscues. The running game was decent. I got Tony Pollard. I'm happy about that. But I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like the Dallas offense was out there, like, scaring you. They'll probably get better. They'll be better. But I'm just saying, like, that defense.
They just dialing up all types of pressures, and Michael Parsons, he just kid in the candy store.
He probably thought he saw 13 players on the field when they was playing. That defense, they was all.
He probably saw everywhere. 15. That thing was ridiculous. I was like,
early in the game, I was like, yeah, this ain't working out so far. And then later in the game, I started feeling bad for the dude. I'm like, why? Then somebody I think posted on Facebook was like, why is he still in the game? I'm like, I don't know. I would have faked the injury by now to take that punishment.
Yeah, well, I didn't understand why he was still in the game because clearly at a certain point it was clear y'all aren't going to win this. Like, y'all aren't even going to come close to winning this.
And I always laugh when the commentators.
Go ahead and snatch your QB out because who's your backup? Let him live to play another day.
They have to find things to say in the blowout. It was like, well, maybe he's in the game because he feels like he's gotten him in this mess and he wants to get him out. Like, no. That ain't different.
You can always tell it's a struggle when the game is lopsided. But what was funny to me is when they start, because I was like, ooh, even the commentators have called this game a wrap. Because before halftime, they were absolutely reaching for material. Like they were like, well, we can talk about, because it was somebody's family, something or other they were going to talk about. And Chris Collinsworth was like, yeah, because we're going to have time. I was like, oh my God.
He did say that. He did say that.
He was like, yeah, I was like, sir, it's not even halftime.
Right.
It was like mid-second quarter. There was still hope at that point.
I mean, I don't know. I like a lot of the commentators, but a game like that, and to have to listen to Chris Collins, I was man.
And Mike Tirico. It was awful.
He ain't Chris, man. I met that man.
He's a cool dude, very cool dude, but man, that voice, I don't
like it. Dang, did he call your play wrong or something one time? Deion Dyer. I mean, that's your name or something? When you,
I'm not hating on him. I said he does his job. He does it well. I just
I'm hating on him because he has an Eagles bias. He hates the Eagles.
Oh, he doesn't like the Eagles?
Listen, every time he calls a game and Philly is playing, he does everything in the world to try to make Philly horrible and not win the game. Like, he hates us. Even the Super Bowl when we won, like the entire game, I was like, sir, when I came back to watch it, because I was at a sports bar when it was on, so I couldn't hear what he was saying. But I could see people talking about it on Facebook and stuff about how bad he was talking about the Eagles. Like, he hates the Eagles. It does not matter.
No, I didn't realize that. I guess I have to start paying attention to more.
I'm like, sir, it's so kind of like how John Madden, you knew when Brett Favre was playing, it was going to be a complete love fest on Brett Favre.
That is a true statement. That is a true statement right there.
That was true statement.
Just learn to accept that. When we got a game on Sunday night, and I was like, oh God, Chris Collinsworth, he's going to run up my blood pressure before this game is over. He hates us.
Well, speaking of blood pressure, Rod, you know where I'm about to go, man. Bryce was talking about it. He was looking good early, and then he started looking like a rookie. I was like, but I think he's gonna be okay, man. I think he might be all right. I mean, I don't know. You the Carolina Panthers fan on the panel, man. I'll let you comment on Well, this is stressful for Rod. Damn, I'm sorry.
Why the man sound defeated already?
Rod, you stressed.
Because I am. Because look,
get him some water. Get Coach some water.
The streets have it that we were supposed to have the Avengers of coaching, right? I ain't seen it.
That's true. No, he's right. He's right.
Everybody swore up and down. Okay, well, we got Frank Wright. We got, I can't pronounce your man on defense, but y'all know who I'm talking about from Denver. We got him. Okay. Well, now let me backtrack. Bryce has thrown an accurate ball. Now I'm not used to seeing balls thrown accurately, in the past few years. So that's a pleasant surprise. But if we had an offensive line. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, shout out to Sam Donald, Baker, and Cam Newton.
I got concerns. Folks was like, okay, well, we can take the division, and the division's weak. The division's weak where?
Yes, where? That's a great question. Where?
So my point is, if everybody is the same, then is it weak? Like, it's weak versus good teams. But if everybody's the same, you still got to go out there and win the game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you play in Atlanta and Atlanta's the same, you got to still win the game. Like, it ain't.
We can't do that.
Yeah,
and what's his name? Cornerback can't stay healthy. We can't even get a ham sandwich for dude right now. And all I heard was J.C. Horn was a dog. J.C. Horn was a dog. Dog where? Huckleberry Ham? He'll give you some flashes, but Dion, you played the game. I did. And whatever. I understand injuries happen. But tell me where I'm wrong.
You're not.
On the field.
People carry the title.
Then where's the dog?
Yeah.
Where's
he might have a lot of fight in him.
I mean, fighting to get off of that trainer's table?
Right. Yeah, you gotta stay healthy, man. It's tough.
I didn't get off the train.
But I'm with you. I'm with you, Rod, because everybody comes into the seasons with, and I think that was one of the things too. Like, and I brought that up because of the point I'm about to make is that I'm looking at like all the stories in football, you know, players moving and the rookie quarterbacks and the new coaches and all this stuff, and you know. A true football fan, a person that, especially your team, a true football fan does not get caught up in the pomp and circumstance of week one. Let's watch a couple games and see what happens. And that's why when I was looking at some of these predictions, I'm like, I get what you guys are saying about certain quarterbacks gonna be okay. I gotta wait and see Baker Mayfield actually pull off this win. I gotta wait and see if Matthew Stafford is actually back. I gotta wait and see what CJ Stroud is actually gonna do when he sees real defense. You know, like they're putting all this pressure on Bryce Young is gonna be great, Stroud is gonna be great. You know, and I'm like, no, I don't know yet. I'm not saying they're gonna be bad, but let's watch a couple games. Just like, hey, the Dolphins. I had look, track team. Dolphins gonna score a lot of points and all of that. And again, the entire time I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, Tua's got to stay up. And
he's got to stay healthy.
He's got to stay up for 17 weeks, and then he's got to stay up for another 3 weeks after that if we make the playoffs. So that's 20 weeks.
Yeah.
Ambitiously, I'm thinking, right? 20 weeks that my quarterback has to stay up for us to win. And that has not happened.
I mean,
in any season that he's been at the helm. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to enjoy moments, but I'm not going to go crazy and be like, oh, the Dolphins, they're going to be a problem. Every week, I'll reevaluate. We'll get back on here every recording.
And that's a good way to look at it.
Because that's what it's going to be for me. Week to week, watching this man stay up.
I just think
if he do stay up, we can put up 30 every week. If he do stay up, we can put up.
I just think that
you're going to be cautiously optimistic.
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
But what I'm saying is, I just feel like I think that the AFC East is serious. I do. I mean, minus New England.
Well, see, I'm not going to minus New England.
Okay.
They're going to have a good defense, and quad is kept. Mac Jones threw 3 touchdowns.
He did. I just see. I'm just saying.
Eagles defense. And I'm not, and I'm never gonna poo-poo on the Eagles defense. I think they just had an average game. I think they're awesome. I think that defense is hell to pay right now. So they'll be mad whoever they play next week, giving up that some touchdowns. But my
get it like this.
We play Minnesota on Thursday.
Oh, good. Oh Lord. Oh, Kirk Cousins.
I just think, like Lonice said,
on a short week too. Oh my God.
Yeah, we play Minnesota on Thursday at home. We play because they're coming to Philly.
Because you know them dogs in there, Lonice. You know them dogs in there going, man, we gave up 3 touchdowns and mac and cheese. We gave up 3, man.
We gave up 3 touchdowns.
We're gonna run up in Kirk. They're like, we gonna run up in Kirk. We running up in Kirk.
My offense looked like trash. I need everybody angry on Thursday. Because I was angry on Sunday. Okay, let me be clear. I was angry on Sunday.
Angry in the wind, D. Angry in the wind.
Angry in a win, yes. Angry in a win because as one of the girls that's in my crew that we all go to steamers to watch the game, and she was like, I'm mad because I didn't cheer as much as I wanted to. Exactly. Like we were done cheering at the first quarter.
So if you were angry in a win, I guess I was apoplectic in a loss.
No, we were angry in a win because the thing is,
I gotta look that up.
Listen, we were playing the Patriots.
On my Stephen A.
Matt Jones. It was Matt Jones. Like my QB looked like he had happy feet back there in the pocket. I was like, what are we doing? My O-line
they looked like they needed to play. They needed to play one full quarter.
Like
they looked like they did not play together in the preseason at all because they were coming out. They was coming out off.
But what I did not understand though, I was like, my O-line they've all been together at least 5 years. Why do y'all look like trash? Y'all have played together for 5 years, minimum. Why do y'all look like trash right now? Like, I was so angry with the O-line. I'm like, we don't lose in the trenches. That's not what we do. We were absolutely losing in the trenches on Sunday. I was livid.
I was pretty okay with the Lions beating the Chiefs. That looked pretty good.
Yeah, but again, if you leave it up to week,
I actually called that. I called the Lions.
If you leave it up to week, well, when Kelsey was out, I told people, me and Purple was on the phone. I was like, Kelsey's not playing. I'm like, and Chris Jones is not playing. These guys are asking for contracts for a reason. They're good. You can't just take Travis Kelsey off the team. I don't care what cape Patrick Mahomes has on. Man, you can't just take him off the field and go, we're going to be okay. No.
He was injured. He's going to be back this week. But here was my thing, though.
Chris Jones.
Well, everybody was excited about
probably
Chris
was the
Jones
MVP of the Super Bowl, and nobody wants to talk about it.
No. But here's two things right here. One, it's good that they have Chris Jones back. Two, he doesn't play on offense. They need some more help on the offensive side other than Travis Kelce.
But my point is,
and don't get me wrong, I love Travis Kelce. I think he's amazing. However, when you can't do nothing on offense with one guy being gone, you don't have nobody. That man made up last season 95% of their plays in the red zone. 95%.
But I hear what you're saying. But my point is this: take Tyreek Hill off the Dolphins. I don't care how fast those other players are. There's a reason why Tyreek Hill is on that field and causes problems for people. So now you take that off the field. Take Jamar, like when you take certain players off the field, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Like, think about it. They got rid of all the guys that they had. Like, I didn't even realize they had gotten rid of Juju and all these guys. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
so
they got
Juju was only on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you try to plug people into positions and
Juju didn't do anything until the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm just saying is you can't just take Pete Dukes and plug him into the game on a Thursday night and say run these routes. And I haven't ran these routes all practice. All like there's a reason why these guys have those positions.
But like Tony and the other guy that was out there, I can't think of his name. Both of them dudes were with them last season. It's not.
But they didn't play. That's what I'm saying. They did. Tony.
I had Tony in fantasy football.
Tony who?
Whatever his first name is, Tony. That plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Cool coach.
His last name is Tony. T-O-N-E-Y. He the Bama that dropped like 7 passes on. He dropped like 7 passes on
Davius Tony.
Night.
Is it Travis Kelce? I don't care.
He's not Travis Kelce, but my point here is, Pete, is this. It's football. Bama's gonna get hurt. So you need to have somebody else that can do something else to help out Patrick Mahomes. Period.
So Mike Tirico,
on offense, you need to have somebody else.
Well, Mike Tirico said the same thing.
And I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying that, but
Mike Tirico said the same. He said they need to put an asterisk.
It just don't work that way.
It's not the same chemistry. It just not.
It just does not. I know what you're saying, and I don't disagree, but it just doesn't. It doesn't go. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Okay, and here's the backup.
I'm not talking about a backup person for Travis Kelce. I'm talking about the people that you have on the field all the time, your starters. You need another person that can help on the field. Because again, the dudes that were playing on Thursday night, it wasn't a chemistry thing. Those are the same clowns that were wide receivers last year after they got rid of Tyreek Hill. Hence why Travis Kelce was 95% of your offense last year. These dudes that they've been waiting to come on, they haven't come on. So you should have gotten somebody else. As the saying goes now, the young folks say, find somebody else to do it. Because all of their wide receivers that played on Thursday night been playing with them for 3 years. They've been on the team a minimum of 3 years, and they're not backups, they're starters. They're not good enough.
But okay. But so, you're saying they're not good enough. So my point is what do you want them to do?
Kelce.
But what do you want?
You need somebody else other than Travis Kelce.
But they're not good enough. You just literally said that. They're not good enough.
They're not, which is why I said you need somebody else other than Travis Kelce. That man needs some help. Patrick
The
Mahomes
question
and
is,
Patrick
where
Mahomes
do
for
you
that.
go
both
to
The
him.
season
find?
has started. It's too
Where
late
do
for
you
that.
go?
The season has started.
But where did you go to replace someone?
That's
like
what I said. The
that?
season has started.
I mean,
They obviously thought those guys were good enough, and maybe one game is bad. They just had a bad game, but
yeah.
they obviously
I think
feel like
Detroit
they
plays
have
some
enough
good
players
defense
to win.
too.
Yeah,
I think
Well, now
Detroit plays
Detroit did
good
play some
defense
good
too.
defense. Detroit defense was good last year.
your defense is pretty decent. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. But
I
you know,
mean,
Mike
look,
Tirico made that.
if we go off a week one, the Dolphins and the Lions are playing in the Super Bowl, right? So I mean, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be real, right? The Lions and the Dolphins are playing in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's what we're doing here, right? So
Mike
Based
Tirico made
off
the
of week
same
one?
comment.
yeah, based off of week one, right?
He said that the Detroit Lions should put an asterisk by that game because Chris Jones wasn't in
football
there
is football.
and
To
Kelsey wasn't
Lonice's
there.
point, somebody, you still out there playing. Football is football. Win the game, because if they would have lost that game, then what we would have said, same old Lions. So I mean, right? We would have reverted back to the first 6 weeks last year of same. No, give them credit for winning the game. They won the game, just like I give the Jets credit for beating Buffalo.
I think it was
Won
a
the
good
game.
weekend for running backs. The running game on most teams looked pretty decent, even though it was a slugfest for the Jets and the Bills. But they still, the running games look decent on
Brees
the
Hall scared the devil out of me because I was going against him in fantasy. When he broke them I was like, catch him. Oh, that leg. Okay, he ain't fast like that. Okay, he needs some more time. Good.
Look, he's not 100% yet, but when he get 100%, he's gonna be a problem. Speaking of problems, I'm gonna circle back to Detroit. Detroit is about to be a problem this year. If everybody stays
Detroit is a whole problem.
Yeah.
They're about to be a problem because last year at the end of the season, they were that team that was winning because they didn't know they weren't supposed to win. They didn't know they weren't supposed to win. Like they didn't know. They didn't realize it. They were just out there balling and having fun. They didn't realize they weren't supposed to win. And then they carried that over to this season, and they were like, okay, we still don't know we're supposed to win. And then they won. So now they believe they can win. Oh, they about to be a problem if they stay healthy. They're about to give some folks some fits this season. I was like, they're about to be a problem.
The only reason I'm not gonna disagree, and again, it's week one, is because of the division they play in. I think the Bears are exactly what we saw. Everybody's oh my God, the Bears. I like Justin Fields. I hope he has a decent career. But
It's not gonna be in Chicago.
That team, oh God, that team.
It's not gonna be in Chicago.
And Jordan Love looked good, but I told people, just like it's against the Bears. This week one, he looked good. I'm glad. Look, the ball still came out his hand. It still was actively thrown. It's still reaching the receiver's hands. So I'm giving him. No, I'm saying I'm giving him credit. Obviously, he's a pretty good, accurate throw of the football. Like we're not, because of all of the things that we've seen before when they threw him out there deer in headlights the first time we saw him. We still got that image in our head, right? That that he's that quarterback, but maybe we're not giving enough credit. Like he's had an off season and he's able to look and run that offense. We're about to see if LaFleur, the people say, can really coach or not. We're gonna see, but I got to see the Packers go up against a couple of different teams, and then we'll get to that. But I think that's why you said the Lions going to be a problem, because that defense is good enough to beat Minnesota. It's good enough to beat, the teams in the division. It's just the offense. And look, Jared Goff, they just he got shipped away for a bag of chips at one point. And I'm like, the man did Super Bowl. Like, God, dog, like y'all, we just poo-pooing on this dude. Like, he actually is a pretty good quarterback. Like, I give you that. I think the Lions are going to be around. They're going to be a problem for some people. I
feel like they're going to be a problem. But as you said, it's week one. So you gotta curb your enthusiasm.
I mean, we gotta hype it up a little bit, just a little bit.
Listen, that's
okay.
I'm
gonna hype
we
it
have
up
the Dallas Cowboy fans for that.
No. I'm gonna hype it up because the boys look good. Miami look good. Tua stop dropping the ball, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Our defense, we might need to, set the edge a little bit better.
The Chargers in their home, but look, Herbert and them boys can put up points too, man. I'm not. I know we're talking about defenses and all that, but I'm okay winning every game 38-35. I'm completely fine with that. Completely fine with that. The hell with the defense. Put up some points.
You don't mind the ugly win, Pete? That's what we like to call them.
Because at the end of the day, I know defense wins championships. God darn it, put up 30. Put up them points.
Put it up.
If you can put up points against a good defense, put them up. Because when I look down the line, when Lamar Jackson gets his feet under him, and you still got Mahomes, and when Joe Burrow gets his feet under him, we gonna need 30. I don't care how good these defenses are. We gonna need 30. You're gonna need 30. You're gonna need 30.
And we have the weapons.
You're gonna need 30 and your quarterback. Because again,
Exactly.
I'm nervous for Tua. I'm nervous.
Everybody's
I just feel like
except for the mad scientist.
I just feel like the jiu-jitsu.
Who our head coach who looks like a kid.
Yeah, he's a mad scientist. He's like, what's the Dexter?
Pinky in the brain.
That's what I call him. He Dexter.
Not Dexter. Pinky in the brain.
I'm just saying, he looks like he always laboratory. You need a lab coat on the sideline. That's what he got.
That's the only thing he's missing.
A lab coat with a gold chain.
Oh my God!
Out there in the lab coat and gold chain, don't say nothing.
Oh God!
Type to do it.
Hey, I'm just saying, if he walked out there one day with a lab coat and a gold chain, I'm gonna lose it.
It was cringe. They showed it at practice last year. He was listening to something, and it was bad. It was bad.
It's okay.
So listen, what do you think Tennessee gonna do with Ryan Tannehill and his turnover machine behind?
They might jump him in the parking lot. That's what they're gonna do. They
put some hands and feet on him.
I'm just saying, man. God,
like, what is he doing? I was frustrated on their behalf.
But the Saints defense, I think that's a top 5 defense too now. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
that's uncharacteristic of Tannehill, though. Once he left Miami, of course.
But Tannehill, it's like to Lonice's point, like there's like these certain plays, man. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
And here's the thing: he can run. You ain't even got to throw it. You forgot you can run.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's kind of like the cartoon. You ever seen the cartoon with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck? And Daffy Duck falls off the cliff, and Bugs Bunny looks at the camera and goes, "I wonder if Daffy remembers he can fly."
Yeah,
that's what Tannehill is. You know, then he falls off a bridge. He's like, "I wonder if Daffy remembers he can swim." Nope.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
Tannehill, you remember you can run? Like, run the damn ball. Put it down.
Oh, shout out to the Looney Tunes reference.
Like,
oh, get him, Acme. Get him, Acme.
I mean, the Saints defense, Tannehill made them look a lot better. They're good, but hey, that dude, to your point, I'm like, jeez, boy, they gonna jump him at one point. But I wouldn't be remiss for us to get off here real quick to talk about, look, man, I'm coming off a vacation. I'm trying to mind my own business.
Colorado's real.
And I look up and Dion, Coach Prime. I'm like, okay, they look pretty decent. But again, I mean, I'm scared. I'm actually scared to say anything.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get like.
Who did they play?
Nebraska.
They beat. Well, they was going to beat Nebraska. It's true. Like me and Previn was talking about that. Nebraska wouldn't win a game in the MEAC right now. So,
right. I didn't. Okay, I didn't know if they were up against real competition yet or not.
Yes, they have.
And then they play Colorado State this year. So I saw somebody posted something and said they're going to be 3-0, and then the season really starts.
It was not a very good outing for them running wise. I think passing, they can pass all day.
They can throw.
They don't have a running game right now. You don't have a damn running game. Then what do you got?
Yeah, but until you play a team with a decent, stout defensive line, they're gonna throw all over the place. They're gonna throw all over the place. So,
I see they had the problems that I saw because I watched the game. Penalties, of course, dumb penalties, stupid penalties. Mm-hmm. The line has got to get better. They got to protect better, and they got to and involve the running game and get downhill. Like we said, get downhill.
Yeah, they
got a lot of work to do. But
the greatest thing that happened this weekend in college football, and I didn't even know it until like yesterday, was Alabama lost. That was the greatest thing.
Yes.
I am completely transparent, anti-Saban. Don't care. Don't care. Alabama fans watching this show. I don't care. Don't like them. Don't like Alabama.
I feel like you might
Never
still be
liked
a little bit bitter from his stint in Miami.
I'm very bitter from that. He's a liar.
I just wanted people to be clear.
He's a liar.
Like
if you can't be straight about that, how these parents out here believing that, oh, I'm gonna take care of your kid? He's a liar. He just wants to win. He'll do it by any means necessary, and then he cries like a baby when they don't get picked every year when they lose. Dude, you lost 2 games. I don't care if it's about 1.5 points. You lost 2 games last year. Now that they lost one, I hope they lose another one. The problem now is when they go to this super conference, they're going to now take 8 teams and they're going to take 3 lost SEC teams and put them in the tournament anyway. So now they got reason to be okay to lose a couple games because they're going to get picked because it's a super conference. You're going to still take 3 or 4 teams from the SEC.
Yeah, the NCAA is
this year. I hope they don't make it because after this, we're going to see Alabama in the freaking playoffs, 18
all the time,
every year until the end of the time.
Year. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like I haven't been following college football, and now going into next year, it's like it's just turning. I don't live in the Midwest no more. The Big Ten, all that, and I don't. It's like down. I'm like, man, it's all rigged, man. I'm not watching that mess. I might as well root for Coach Prime. I might as well root for Deion. Like at this point, I'm like,
I will not.
I hope Deion wins another.
I am not going that far.
I just want to see the Aflac Bowl between Colorado and Alabama. Anyway, I'm out, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out. See you later.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.